Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Holo Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim HaKadosh, double honors apostle elders, a great millstone that taught me this 100% truth will well. Salutations to the Yakim out there pushing the truth with all sincerity and risk their life to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. Shalom. I got an article here by Fox News that's dated for June 5th, 2024, and today's date is June 8th, 2024, and the title of the article is California restaurant owner very angry over debunked Fauci code guidelines. It destroyed our industry. Yeah, and that's what's all part of Esau Edom's plan, to bring down society. You know what I'm saying? And many people, they make fun of this the stab and they call it the Fauci ouchie. You know what I'm saying? that this, you know, that he pretty much was the face of it, and they used him, and now he's backing off of all the statements that he made, being that, that it wasn't as serious as they made it, seem. You know what I'm saying? But that was the deception that they put out there. But that's the devil, fulfilling his lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, the devil, he's born speaking lies. He's a natural born liar. He was raised to be the deceiver. You know what I'm saying? And he deceived the world. Bringing this pandemic upon uh, the the earth. You know what I'm saying? He uses false science to, you know, make it into an issue that it wasn't, it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get into the article. It starts a California restaurant owner who went viral during the pandemic after her eatery was forced to close while a movie set operated next door is slamming Dr. Anthony Fauci over debunked COVID rules that destroyed the industry. Angela Marsden, owner of the Pineapple Hills Saloon and Grill in Sherman Oaks, said she's very angry after learning from Dr. Fauci's recent testimony that social distance rules were not backed by science during her appearance Tuesday on Varner and Co. Yeah, that's what the devil did. You know what I'm saying? He came with his false science and he told you, well, it really wasn't even backed by science. They just falsely lied and said, hey, this is what it is. Uh, you know, it's, we have a plan in place, and to stop the progression of this outbreak, we have to shut down society and we have to social distance. You know what I'm saying? And truly, within a pandemic, you know what I'm saying? Or say pandemic. That's what this devil made it out to be. But within a pandemic, you know, you're supposed to let it take its natural course, and uh, you build from there, because you can't just like come up with a what they call a vaccination overnight. It takes years, for them to make this thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like what, 6, 7, 8 years. Matter of fact, there's another video that I'm not gonna play, but I'll also put that in this description box, Lord willing, if I don't forget. But they went into the importance of of just letting you know a, a virus take its course, and you can't really come up with a vaccination in the middle of a pandemic, because you actually make it worse. um but uh we'll talk about that more later, but let me finish reading this article. It's very traumatizing, what marsden Marsden said. The restaurant argued that people are still going out of business due to the rules that were that were set in place during the pandemic. It closed 30% of restaurants in California, and the way she said it is just stop it. It's just, I don't understand. Isn't there any liability and responsibility that anybody is going to take for this. It destroyed our industry. It's very confusing. She's stressed. Yeah, and that's what's part of the plan. That they wanted, the economy to fail because that's part of the agenda that this devil has, you know, in place. You know what I'm saying? He wants order out of chaos to take place, so he could bring his new world order. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That whole pandemic is part of his agenda, and that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to cause this society to collapse, and just a precursor, to bring in his mark of the beast, because that's the end stage. You know what I'm saying, that he wants, you know, for society. But this whole pandemic, that was just a test one. But we got this devil got other things up his sleeves. I'm sure this ain't the only pandemic. More than likely, he's gonna bring it to pass. But truly, it's all done at the hands of Yahweh Shema Howard Shai. You know what I'm saying? This is something that the Lord has this devil do, because Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is his sword, and he used him to bring this plague upon the earth. Just like the Lord, did, in Egypt, the Lord brought plagues upon the world. You know what I'm saying? And Esau Edom, uh, you know, he used Esau Edom to bring this plague forth. The whole C19 thing, and him coming with his machination, or his stab, because his stab was a plague as well, because uh, his stab, that poison that he injected into many people, you know what I'm saying, uh, killed just as many people. You know what I'm saying? And the video that I wanna, I'll show you later or whatnot, that it goes into that. But anyway, let's read on. During a hearing Monday, Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, was grilled by lawmakers on the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention's 6 feet distance rule, the masking and school children, and other pandemic era restrictions. Marsden told host Stuart Varney that although she was fortunate to remain open, she still carries debt. I carry debt. I have a huge loan payment that I have to pay, even though I was lucky enough and had donations that saved my bar, Marsden expressed. Read more. So you can imagine the what other restaurant owners are going through. I mean, and 30% of us in California were wiped out. She said, yeah, because that was his whole agenda. He wanted to, cause the economic collapse. Marsden said the fellow bar and restaurant owner, who she was well acquainted with, killed themselves during the pandemic because they were losing their home and everything. Yeah, and this devil caused mass chaos with the shutting down, because a lot of people were suffering financially. You know what I'm saying? During that time, the pandemic, people were cooped up in their homes, and there was a high divorce rate, and domestic violence rate during that time. You know what I'm saying? But that was all uh, part of his plan, for these things to take place. You know, uh, shutting down society and making them suffer. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that this wasn't really backed by science. It's something that they just uh, came up with, to cause chaos. Because in the beginnings, this devil, he was actually telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you go back and look at the videos, like he was telling you, there's no need to you know uh, have to wear a mask, or for you to get injected, with the poison if you already had it naturally. You know what I'm saying? You know, pretty much just letting it take its natural course or whatever. Um, so he was like, talking, the naturals or the natures of science in the beginnings. But then, they got it behind closed doors, and they told him like, yo, that's not the route we going with this. You know what I'm saying? You got to change that shit up. And once he had that meeting, once they sat behind them doors, that's when his whole demeanor and his whole approach changed. Like he was telling motherfuckers, though, now not only one mask, you can double up on the mask, and you know what I'm saying. Even though you had, you know, the the virus naturally, it's better to get injected too. You know what I'm saying? That just built more immunity, which that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he beat up being brought to charges now. You know what I'm saying? Because he was using false science. He was just telling you false things. That's why he being brought to trial because he lied. You know what I'm saying? And he pretty much uh, committed what's the word I'm looking for here? Um, you know, he pretty much like uh, caused mass death. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's a term for it. I can't remember. I can't. It's not coming to mind right now. But anyway, so him, with his lies that he told in society, you know, it it, it, it was detrimental to many. You know what I'm saying? And they shocked uh, or um, shocked society. You know what I'm saying? Or had them go into shock with their actions of shutting down society and not being able to function. And many other people, it took a toll on them and drove many people to commit suicide as well because of the financial status. They were losing their business, their homes, and they couldn't function financially as they wanted. And it took like a trickle down effect. Not only uh, for those restaurant owners and whatnot, also for people that on real estate as well. You know what I'm saying? Like people that own buildings and apartments and housing. They have tenants, and if your tenant can't work or go to work to make income, you know, how can they pay their rent? Because even though you own this property, you still and uh, you benefit from taking rent from your tenants. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make your income. You know what I'm saying? So those that were, in the real estate industry or owned properties, they suffered as well. You know what I'm saying? Because even though, it's a business for them, they was getting money from their tenants, they still got to pay the bank, what I'm saying, that they owe for the property. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of if they were getting rent or not, they still had to pay money unto the bank for the property. So they wasn't making no income, from that aspect of being being the owner and renting the property because the people that go to work daily to pay the rent couldn't go to work. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people suffered. So not only for those that own businesses as well, but those that own properties as well, they suffered as well too. You know what I'm saying? But that was the whole plan that this devil wanted to take place to cause society to suffer because there was a bigger agenda at hand. Hold on. Why is this thing article doing this? All right, where am I now? All right. Yeah. All right. So here. However, COVID guidelines haven't been the only setback for California's restaurant owners. The state's $20 minimum wage law is also contributing to downfall of business. Listen, I don't understand what's going on, but they were raising minimum wage during COVID. They didn't even stop raising minimum wage during COVID when When we were barely open, Marsden explained. She went she went on to add that restaurant owners are getting plummeted by high liability insurance in addition to the $20 minimum wage. Most people are still paying back rent from debt. 50, 51% of the restaurants in LA that were supposed to get restaurant revitalization grant never received the money. Some of those people mortgaged their houses being told they were going going to get it, and Congress never fulfilled that completely, she revealed. Marsden argued that it largest was the largest transfer of wealth from Main Street to basically you to basically you know, the big guys. People are still suffering, she stressed. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the article. And yeah, that was the whole intent. You know what I'm saying? They raised the cost of pay um, to the employees, and made it more stressful to them in the midst of a pandemic, being that they were shutting many of their doors in the process. You know what I'm saying? Because they were trying to force a collapse, because they know that their dollar is failing and it's losing its value. And the main thing is that they want to bring in a new currency. That's why they're talking about the CBDC digital currency that all the other world is transitioning to. You know what I'm saying? Because they're about to push the reset button and transition to a digital currency, and that's what they're going to place on the RFID chip and put inside you. The mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So that's the transition. So they need to collapse. And this was a precursor to doing it. The whole pandemic, the C19 pandemic that they came forth with, that they had this dude Fauci, be the front runner for. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was kicking true science in the beginning, and telling you the truth about it. Like, yo, you don't have to wear masks, or just things gonna take its natural course, whatever it may be. But then he changed his song, because they had their meetings like, yo, we don't need you to be telling this. You know what I'm saying? We need you to vamp this thing up. You know what I'm saying? We need you to do what we want you to do, and put forth these lies, and so we can go forth with our agenda. You know what I'm saying? So that's when he changed his tune, and he started talking crazy, and give you false signs and things, and uh, you know being deceptive that the devil is. You know what I'm saying? He spoke his lies, and now he being brought up on charges for crime. That's what crime against humanity. Yeah, he committed crimes against humanity. He told you a false lie that this thing is very um, you know um, dangerous into you and society, and we want to try to control this thing, when truly the people that in society that were at risk were those that had comorbidities, with those that had like chronic illnesses, or were immune deficient, because comorbidities or comorbidities, they cause you to be immune compromised, because you have illnesses already. You know what I'm saying? Like diabetes, or hypertension, or you know those that had those type of illnesses were more at risk, but the average healthy individual weren't. You know what I'm saying? And they had research during the time that showed, but they falsify things and lie. You know what I'm saying? To bring their agenda. But let's grab some scriptures. This is Job 13:4, which reads, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." And yeah, that's what this devil did. He came forth with a lie. He's a physician of no value. You know what I'm saying? He just uh, you know, was pushing forth the agenda, to cause economic downfall, because that's what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Reading on, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of signs so falsely called. And yeah, and that's what they use. He used false signs to bring forth or tell you that, this thing uh, was very deadly, and you know, uh, this is the the process we're going to attempt to save humanity. You know what I'm saying? But really, he was, bringing forth downfall. Your downfall. This is Ecclesiasticus 14:5, which reads, "And he that is evil unto himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods." Yeah, this devil was evil to himself. Not only did he shut down all society, you know, you Jakes too that got a piece of the pie here in so-called Babylon, but he did it to his own people as well. Like he wanted all the whole the whole earth to suffer. You know what I'm saying with this thing. He didn't just say, "Hey, you Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans who own the businesses, we shutting y'all shit down because we're his natural born enemies." You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you are the nation of Israel, and you're the enemy of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. You know what I'm saying? So uh, he didn't just shut you guys down, those that may have of our people that own businesses, whatever. That's the right thing to do as an enemy. Like we want you to suffer. You know what I'm saying? So not just shutting down those that own of the nation of Israel that own businesses. He shut everybody down, even his own people. You know what I'm saying? And made them suffer. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that he's a devil uh, in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's evil unto himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be a wicked motherfucker to be evil unto your own people as well. As your enemy. You know what I'm saying? So if you evil unto your own self, you know what I'm saying? What wouldn't you do to your enemy? You know what I'm saying? So uh, this devil, he wants, you know, everyone to suffer because that's part of his plan or his agenda to enslave all society, even his own. You know what I'm saying? Because many of his people, they're going to take this RFID microchip to suffer, and this whole process of him bringing this forth was a precursor into what's to come, and he just wanted to give a test run to see how much backlash he was going to get. Because now they got talking about those that come against that come that come against him. Those these anti-vaxxers or whatnot. He got a thing against, and he wants to brain chip them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anti-vaxxers or conspiracy, so-called conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? He got this thing now. They're talking about putting mandating brain chips against them. You know what I'm saying? So they can't have their own mind state to come against him. He wants to control that. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to come with that. That's all part of the whole chipping process that he's going to come with. In his market of beast. Taking it in their foreheads or their hands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not going to be forcible. He's going to give you the option and to take it. But that's the law he got or wants to push forth. That those that are anti-vaxxers or conspiracy theorists that come up against him, his hand, he wants the mandate that you get a brain chip in your head. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil for you. This is Ecclesiasticus. Oh yeah, sorry. 12 and that's 16, which reads, "An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into the pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. His av- adversity come upon thee, thou shalt slack it. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Yeah, and that's what he did with this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? You know, in his heart, you know what I'm saying, he wished to overthrow thee. You know what I'm saying? Because, uh, he he came with his plan, you know what I'm saying, to uh, inject you with his poison to so-called help you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when our adversity took place. He pretended to help thee with his machination. You know what I'm saying? But come to find out that the machination did more harm to you than the actual virus. Those that got infected with the virus, they naturally, built a natural immunity to it, and they weren't as uh, sickly as long as those that took that got vaccinated and ended up getting the virus. It shows that they got sicker for a longer stint. But the whole point of it was that you took the vaccination, you have a quicker recovery. But that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the research is showing now. It's like it's one more thing. It says this is Schiliastes 12:4, which reads, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." And that's what happened. What this devil did. This devil shut down society. You know what I'm saying? He shuts the doors in the streets, closing down society. And then the grinding in the street was low. You know what I'm saying? And the grinding was low because he put people out of business. He caused people to lose their financial stability. But that was all part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose of him, shutting doors or shutting down society to cause a financial collapse and actually, get rid of the middle class. You know what I'm saying? Because the middle class, this is what helped this country's function. Actually, you know what I'm saying? The middle class is what pushes this is it's like it. The middle class is what pushes the economy of the so-called United States, and keeps it afloat. And he's trying to take away that mid portion, middle class. To be middle class in this country, you got to make 180,000. You know what I'm saying? And these are these small business owners, that own these restaurants and certain other businesses. You know what I'm saying? That keep this country afloat. That can offer others jobs as well. You know what I'm saying? But you know, um, he was trying to take that out the picture. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants that to fail. It's only going to be the rich and the poor. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's the agenda that he wants to bring in place. Because he's trying to take away that middle line. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that was part of the plan that he had in place. And this video right here,
The media is waking up to the fact that
exactly.
excess deaths are
This video right here, it goes into it, and I don't want to play too much of it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just put it in the description box. You can watch it for yourself. But it goes into the fact that those that actually got stabbed by this devil was it's caused excess death. You know what I'm saying? Those are that were healthy individuals. Like I said earlier. You know what I'm saying? Those that had uh, co- uh, comorbidities or comorbidities, uh, or those that had pre-existing health conditions, comorbidities, um, they were more likely to be infected, with the virus and have health be compromised by it. You know what I'm saying? Because they were immunocompromised or had autoimmune deficiencies due to their health issues. They were immune compromised or whatnot, and that contributed to them becoming more sickly if catching the virus. But the average individual that caught it, those that were healthy, you know what I'm saying, they have certain symptoms, but they had a likelihood of recovering. Those that were more likely to suffer and possibly die from it were those that had chronic conditions or pre-existing conditions, those, and those are, people that were up in age, but a young, healthy individual were more likely to catch it and survive. You know what I'm saying? They had like a 99%, rate or whatnot of recovery. So, but they were telling you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? They omitted certain things in their reports, but now that's why this devil, he being brought up on these charges because he used false science. He falsified facts about the situation, and now research shows that what I'm saying, that those that were healthy didn't really have to take the stab. You know what I'm saying? And they're showing now that the healthy individuals that did take the stab, they are suffering from health issues. Like they're having more issues than those that had contacted the uh, the virus naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like those that had took the stab or got injected with the poison are more compromised than those that actually got it naturally. You know what I'm saying? So this when he came with his oh see that there was an issue and adversity was there, he came with his deception and made him think that he was going to help you, but he wasn't. He was more detrimental to you than helpful to you because he's the devil. You know what I'm saying? Adversity was there with the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? He came to your rescue, supposedly with the vaccination. You know what I'm saying? The stab, and he stabbed you with it, and then he caused you to be more compromised. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of a pandemic, and this video, this doctor that they got there talking to, and this is redacted. So they're gonna come with you know, the truest form of information you're gonna get, really, especially on YouTube. But anyway, so they're talking to this doctor, you know what I'm saying, and they was giving her a hard time as well because she was stating the facts about the situation, and then she's telling in these reports that those that got the vaccination, that took the stab, you know what I'm saying, or suffering from these certain conditions and even dying, you know what I'm saying? And she was catching a lot of backlash for stating that. But now, you know what I'm saying, it's out there. This devil himself, he admitting to it. You know what I'm saying? And this was what the men of the Lord were saying from the beginning, you know, that on the highways and byways, especially the men of great Most, they be telling you, they be warning you of, especially you Jakes, trust not thy enemy, as the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? Because this devil, he's evil to his own, because he even caused his own to take this poison and kill them off. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of his agenda, and he's the devil. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's a deceiver, and he's just fulfilling his lot. To cause chaos and destruction and death within the earth. This is he's the Lord's sword. You know what I'm saying? And this is a plague that the Lord gave unto him to unleash upon the earth. So we all know it's done at the hands of Yahweh Shemashai, because he's using the devil to to fulfill this deed and fulfill his lot. You know what I'm saying, as being the devil. But again, with this report, you know what I'm saying, she stated that those that pretty much took the stab, are pretty much dying now and suffering more so than those that got it naturally, and that in the midst of the pandemic, you know what I'm saying, you're not really supposed to come up and try to vaccinate everyone. You're supposed to naturally let it take its course, and then once it's over, then you come up with a plan, because it takes 7 to 8 years to come up with a vaccination that's going to actually be beneficial in you taking it. Because in the midst of it, when you take a vaccination, you cause the virus to manipulate, so it becomes resistance against the vaccinations you're creating. So it becomes irrelevant, and that's what happened. When you saw the pandemic, when this was taking place, you saw that there was many variants, you know what I'm saying, of the virus due to this, because you're not supposed to do it, because it's going to manipulate, multiply, and uh, create more versions of it. It'll create a stronger strand of it, and because more resistance. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually doing more detriment than being beneficial in doing so. You know what I'm saying? And and those are really that were being affected were those that were already immune compromised, but the naturally healthy individual wasn't so. But those that ended up taking the stab, they became more compromised. You know what I'm saying? Due to taking the poison, than to naturally catching this thing in itself. But this was a weapon that this devil used. You know what I'm saying? You know, to put forth in the earth, but it all was done at the hands of Yahweh Shem Shai himself. But I put this video in the description box, and you can read it. Just listen to it yourself. And the funny thing is, uh, like 4 years ago, I did a video on his doctor. I had statistics, and he was going through it. And, those that were young people that took, the vaccination or the stab from the devil, and there were deaths caused of that. Younger kids. I think it was like I can't remember. It was so long. This was 4 years ago. I want to say 4 or 5 years of age or whatever that got whatever. But they were adolescents, young children, and young adults that were took the stab. That they was just dropping dead from taking the stab, and his evidence showed. And these devils, they struck my video, and this was 4 years ago. They just recently struck it like a month ago, and I couldn't put videos up for a week. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that they go against their own uh, um, constitutional right to they give you supposedly a free speech. You know what I'm saying? But I was just reporting what this doctor was reporting. But when you match it up with scriptures, and you point out who the devil truly is, and this was a whole his game plan that he wanted to bring forth, and you expose him, that's when he got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? So this video on Redacted, they're not going to have a problem with it. They probably won't take a video down, even though this lady's stating the facts of what took place. But a video like this that that uses scriptures and points out that he's the devil, they're going to target. You know what I'm saying? Because we're revealing the unto the world who he truly is, and that this is all part of his game plan. You know what I'm saying? But another funny thing is, I saw this episode of NSCI and NCIS New Orleans, and it goes about a virus. They call it Virus X. And in this episode, you know what I'm saying, they was using or they were fighting for or this virus to try to get it. So they wanted to actually use it as a form of biological warfare. You know what I'm saying? So they would top people, Navy SEALs, whatever, and how they keep things on the low secretly, and only certain people are informed about certain things. How this devil moves, and to protect it, they had it contained, and this woman, she injected herself with it, so they couldn't get it. But anyway, but the whole thing is like this episode took place February 12th of 2019, and this is pre so-called COVID. You know what I'm saying? So this devil, he already had this plan. You know what I'm saying? And you saw there's other shows that talked about things like this, like a Contagion and whatnot. But this devil, he lets his plan before he takes place. And those that are in the know, that the Lord has blessed with with His Holy Spirit, that He given the eye to see and the ears to hear His word, or see His prophecies. We look at these shows and we see the spirituality in it. You know what I'm saying? We don't, the average Joe, or the average individual, or the 2/3 Jakes out there, they see these things as just an entertainment value. But those that of their hopeful light, we know that this devil, he also uses he also lets you know what he's going to do before he does it, on the left hand side. You know what I'm saying? So this was early 2019, but we know that COVID came in late 2019. And I googled that as well. So it says the first case of was found in Wuhan on November 17th, 2019. You know what I'm saying? And the first case in the U.S. it says here January 21st, 2020, and that's when he came with this whole shutdown later in March. I think it was. It says here March 11th. You know what I'm saying? They decided to go into that national shutdown. Of society, but that was all part of this devil's plan that he was coming with to shut down society, and make society suffer, and put people's back against the wall. Because you remember at the beginning, this dude Fauci was saying, it's not going to be a mandate. Even your boy Joe Biden, he was saying, oh, there's no mandate, whatever. People can take it on their own to protect. But when a lot of people was skeptical about it, wasn't taking it, what? He came down with great wrath and he told them, oh, it's mandated. You got to take it down. You know what I'm saying? And people back was against the wall. And if you wanted to go to work or if you wanted to go to a certain place to eat, whatever it may be, in society, you had to show evidence that you was vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? That you took the stab. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to be here with with the RFID chip mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a precursor into all that taking place. You know what I'm saying? So because that's the end agenda for this devil is to have the whole world enslaved to him. But he does things gradually, so that's why he set this forth first. You know what I'm saying? And now you see that this devil who they put in the forefront, Dr. Fauci, you know what I'm saying? He facing charges. You know what I'm saying? This is a crime against humanity that he set forth. You know what I'm saying? Using false lines and lying about the situation. It's telling you that he didn't even use science on social distance, whatever, because they had an agenda. This is something that was told into him by the elites. Like, yo, you kicking that real shit, telling them like this, the real stuff about the situation. And we don't want that, you know what I'm saying? We don't need you to, be a scientist right now. We need you to push our agenda. You know what I'm saying? We need you to be deceptive, be the devil that you are. You know what I'm saying? And so once he got those orders, that's what he came with. You know what I'm saying? He came with, that deception. He came with his lies, because that he was just the foreface of it. But behind closed doors, the elites, you know what I'm saying? The puppet master themselves told him like, yo, this is what you need to do, because we got an agenda. Our time almost up here. This is the end of our kingdom. So we gotta do to hold on to this thing. And we need you to push this. And we need these motherfuckers, to take this stab, you know what I'm saying, to put forth our agenda. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, I'll put this video in the description box, and also if you get the opportunity, watch this episode of NSCI. It's season 5, episode 13 of NCIS New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this devil used his left hand to present these things to you as well. This episode, February 12th, 2019. You know what I'm saying? Just like, even with his movie Civil War, that came out. You know what I'm saying? We know that that's going to happen because what is prophesied in the scriptures to take place. And this devil, like the Lord, he loses his left hand energy, his world of Hollywood, to bring these things to you and to. You know what I'm saying? Because he got to give you fair warning as well. But he presents this to you, so we all know it's going to take place. But it's all done at the hands of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's the Lord allowing his, this devil to reveal his plan. But the only people that I know and see, that this is prophecy, is the elect, that the Lord has given the eyes to see and the ears to hear, his words, or foresee his prophecies. So we see the spiritual aspect of certain things that take place or are presented to us in movies and shows and whatnot, as the Lord has allowed us to see, because he gives the spiritual eyes to do so. So that's pretty much it. I hope this lesson has been edifying. I just want to say, Kohola Yahweh Shemashai, Kwame Sharala, Ababa, and Shalom.